What is holding you back? Let me ask you a question that could change the direction of your life. What is holding you back? Is it fear? Is it something that happened years ago? Is it regret? Is it someone's opinion of you? Because sometimes the biggest thing standing between you and the life you want isn't what's ahead of you, it's what you're still carrying behind you. I'm Franco Manna, author and creator of the MANNA Method. And today I'm going to share something with you about healing, acting, and making the decisions to follow forward. I remember being in the middle of my own journey and realizing that if I want my life to change, I had to make a different choice. That's what the MANNA Method is all about. Healing begins when we become willing to face what is holding us back. And the growth begins when we act. Where is fear keeping you from moving forward? Fear can question your ability on the life you want. Fear of the failure can keep you from trying at all. Fear from rejection can stop you from being the person you're meant to be. Ask yourself this question. Are you allowing fear to make your own decisions for you? What one decision could you make today that would change your direction tomorrow? Sometimes the things holding you back isn't the road ahead. It's the weight you're always carrying behind you. I remember when I was in the middle of my sobriety. I was about 5 to 15 years into being sober from drinking alcohol. I didn't understand why I felt the way I felt. Even though I was clean and sober, I started to ask people around the program that I knew. I wasn't successful of getting the information I needed. To start feeling better about myself, I had a purpose to focus on. Instead of focusing always on my addiction and the mental health issues I had all my life, one day I sat down and asked my higher power, Father, why do I feel heavy, lost, confused, lonely, and small? I have so many years of sobriety, and I shouldn't have felt this way. Well, the answer I received was quick, and it made a lot of common sense. Your life begins to change when you stop asking why me and ask, what can I do now? So I started to take more action. I started focusing on my addiction. I stopped focusing on my addiction and the mental health issues that I had all my life. I was still part of the program, but paid less attention to it weekly. The heaviness that I had was more about what I was eating every day. The nervousness was more about how much coffee I was drinking daily. The loneliness was more about my isolation from my friends and family. Courage begins when you take the first step. I started to change my mind, body, and spirit during the most important time in my sobriety. The first year till now, 24 years later, because saying I am sober for any day wasn't the full answer I needed to have. I wanted more than sobriety in life. I wanted to learn, grow, and have meaning in my life. I transformed from the inside out, changing my thoughts, changing my actions, and becoming more spiritual. Don't let fear keep you standing still. Sometimes the biggest barrier is the one inside of you. Healing isn't forgetting your story. It's learning how to stop letting your story control you. Become the person you want the next generation to believe is possible. You cannot rewrite what happened in the past. The moment you start giving yourself good instructions on how to heal and grow will be the beginning of your transformation. Just sobriety is not the answer to health, healing, or purpose in life. Your past can become a lesson instead of a life sentence. Ask yourself this: if nothing else changes in your life, are you willing to live the same way for the next 5 or 10 years? I look back now with regret because I want I waited till the age of 43 years old to get sober. And then I waited till I was 66 years old to write my first book on Amazon. And I started my first YouTube channel with the MANNA Method. I didn't have to wait that long, but I took my time. We all have gifts and talents that God gives us to express to others. Every tree in the forest, the branches reach out and touch each other. What would become possible in your life if you finally stopped holding yourself back? Remember, it always starts within ourselves, from the inside out, balancing the mind, body, and spirit. Your mind with more knowledge in the things you're most interested in. Your body needs physical movement every day into activities that inspire you, running, walking, dancing. And the one thing that's most important that we all have in common is we all need to connect with God or your higher power that you believe in or follow. Reading, writing, meditating, prayer, yoga. When we heal from the inside, we start to connect with the voice of God. Ask yourself this question: what is the first thing you know you need to change, but you're been afraid to act? What is the first step I need to take today toward healing, instead of waiting for my life to change on its own? Healing doesn't begin when everything is fixed. It begins when you decide to take the first step. What can I do for my mind and for the negative thoughts that I have daily? What can I do today for my body so it can become stronger and healthier? What can I do today for my spirit so I can start to hear the voice of God and discover the gifts and talents I was given to share with the world? The first step is the hardest step to take, but the first step moves you forward towards healing, growth, and transformation. It only takes small steps towards healing your mind, body, and spirit. Within a short amount of time, you will be able to see, feel, and inspire others. So take the course, take the yoga class, read that book, share your story, start that business. Remember, being sober for another 24 hours is not the full answer to accept. We all need to grow, heal, and chase the dreams and goals we have in our hearts. Maybe you spent years asking yourself why you can't move forward. I did that for many years. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's regret, maybe it's something that happened to you a long time ago. Maybe you're carrying a belief that you're not good enough, strong enough, or worthy enough. But here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to fix your life today. You just must take the first step. Healing begins when you become willing to face what is holding you back. Growth begins when you decide to do something different. And purpose begins when you stop allowing your past to determine your future. Your fork may have some broken spikes from everything you've been through, but those broken spikes don't mean your story is over. They are evidence that you've been through something and you're still here. So ask yourself one final question: what is holding me back? And what am I willing to do about it? Because your next step doesn't have to be perfect. It just must be forward. You don't have to see the whole road to take the next step. Sometimes the first step is simply turning your fork. And if something I shared today spoke to you, I invite you to subscribe to the MANNA Method and stay with me on this journey. Here, we're talking about healing, personal growth, purpose, and finding your calling, and making the choices that can change the direction of your life. If you believe someone you care about needs to hear this message, please share this episode with them. And if this episode gave you something to think about, hit the like button. You never know who might find this message at the exact right time. You don't have to see the whole road to take the next step. Sometimes the first step is simply turning your fork. Your past may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you. The next choice is yours.